Imagine living in a world where one single sound means instant death. No screaming, no talking, not even a whisper, because something is always listening and it never misses. This is A Quiet Place, 2018. A terrifying survival story where silence is the only way to stay alive. The movie opens in a deserted town, abandoned and silent. A family carefully moves through an empty grocery store, stepping lightly, communicating only through sign language. Every movement is slow. Every breath is controlled. Even the smallest noise could be fatal. We soon learn this world has been taken over by mysterious alien creatures that hunt purely by sound. They are fast, they are brutal, and they kill instantly. The family consists of Lee Abbott, the father, Evelyn, the mother, their deaf daughter Regan, their son Marcus, and their youngest child Bo. Tension rises when Bo finds a small toy rocket. Lee takes out the batteries to keep it silent. But when Bo lags behind, Regan secretly gives him the batteries back. Moments later, Bo turns on the toy. The sound echoes, and before anyone can react, one of the creatures attacks. Bo is killed instantly. The silence after this tragedy is heavier than any scream. But this heartbreaking moment is only the beginning, because what this family faces next will test their strength in ways they never imagined. And trust me, the next challenge they face will make this loss look small. Months later, the family continues surviving in total silence. They live on a remote farm, using sand paths to walk quietly and soundproofing their home with extreme care. Lee works tirelessly to understand the alien creatures. He builds hearing devices, radio scanners, and defense tools. Meanwhile, Regan struggles emotionally, blaming herself for Bo's death, believing her father secretly resents her. Evelyn is now pregnant, which raises a terrifying question. How do you keep a newborn baby silent in a world where noise equals death? Lee prepares a soundproof nursery, complete with oxygen tanks and a noise masking system. But the danger keeps growing. One day, Marcus wanders off near the river and almost drowns, barely escaping death because the sound of rushing water masks his panic. This reveals a crucial survival rule. Loud natural sounds can hide human noise. Later, Regan finds Lee's workshop and discovers he's been trying to fix her hearing aid. She assumes he's disappointed in her. But in reality, he's been trying to help her hear better because he loves her deeply. But emotional misunderstandings will soon become the least of their worries, because the real nightmare begins the moment Evelyn's labor starts. And when it happens, the timing could not be worse. You won't believe how close they come to losing everything next. One night, Evelyn accidentally steps on a nail. The pain forces her to scream, but she swallows it instantly. Blood pours, panic builds. Then her contractions begin. She must give birth in total silence. As Lee and Marcus rush back home, Evelyn turns on red warning lights, signaling danger. But before help arrives, one of the creatures enters the house. Now she must hide, while in labor as a monster stalks her. She retreats to the bathtub, floods the room to muffle sound, and prepares to deliver the baby. Meanwhile, Lee and Marcus hear the alert and race home. But Regan refuses to follow at first, still hurt emotionally. Inside the house, Evelyn fights to stay silent while the creature prowls nearby. The tension is unbearable. Then the baby is born, and Bobby's cry. If they can't silence the child, it could mean death for everyone. But what Lee does next to save his family is both heartbreaking and heroic. And the emotional truth Regan is about to learn will completely change everything. Lee and Marcus manage to reach the house, but the creatures attack again. To save Marcus, Lee makes the ultimate sacrifice. He screams. For the first time in the movie, the scream draws the monster away, giving his son time to escape, but costing Lee his life. Before dying, Lee signs to Regan. "I've always loved you." Regan realizes he never blamed her for Bo's death. Instead, he was always protecting her. Grief floods the family, but they don't have time to mourn. They must survive. Later, Regan notices something strange. When her hearing aid emits a high-frequency sound, it weakens the alien creatures. For the first time, they discover the monsters are not invincible. This changes everything, but can they use this weakness before the creatures reach them again? Because the final confrontation is coming, and the ending will shock you. As night falls, the creatures return. Evelyn grabs a shotgun. Marcus prepares to defend the baby. Regan turns on her hearing aid at full power. The sound cripples the creature. Evelyn fires and kills it. For the first time, the family realizes they can fight back. No longer just victims, they now have power. Regan turns up the frequency, and more creatures gather outside. But instead of fear, the family prepares for war. They are no longer hiding. They are ready to fight. but the true emotional ending. And what this survival means will stay in your mind long after the movie ends. The movie ends with Regan standing strong, controlling the frequency that can destroy the creatures. The mother grips her weapon, the son stands ready, and the silence that once meant fear now means strategy. The family has transformed from prey into hunters, and the ending leaves one powerful message. Even in the quietest world, love can be louder than fear. If you thought this ending was intense, the sequel takes the danger even further, and the next chapter reveals secrets about the creatures that no one saw coming.